Tonight, before anything else, I invite you to arrive, not the rushed version of you that moves through the day, not the one juggling tasks, responsibilities, and the endless hum of thought, but the you that sits quietly beneath all of that, the you that's been waiting for space to breathe. So, wherever you are, settling into bed, resting on the couch, or lying beneath a warm blanket, give yourself permission to pause. Let your shoulders fall a little heavier. Let the jaw loosen. Let the hands rest, as if they've been carrying enough for one lifetime. And take a slow breath in, not forced, just a soft, natural breath, the kind your body has wanted to take all day. Then exhale gently, letting the weight you don't need spill out like water returning to the ocean. Good, you're here now. Imagine, for a moment, that you're sitting on an old wooden porch at the edge of a quiet town, the kind of porch with a rocking chair that creaks softly when you lean back. Out beyond the railing, there's a field stretching into the dusk, a calm, open space where fireflies blink like tiny lanterns in the grass. You can almost feel the cool evening air sliding along your skin, just the faintest touch, like the night brushing past with a kind hand. Above you, the last shades of daylight fade into a deep blue sky. The moon hangs there, round, peaceful, unhurried, the same moon countless generations have watched, while searching for clarity, rest, or simply a quiet moment. And as you sit on that porch in your mind, you realize how good it feels to not rush anywhere, to let the world be the world, and yourself just be yourself. The day might have been full, meetings, errands, decisions, family needs, or maybe a feeling you couldn't quite name. Maybe your thoughts moved faster than your breath. Maybe you've carried a storm inside your chest, even though no one around you could see it. You're not alone in that. Most adults carry these private storms, the restlessness, the overthinking, the quiet pressure to keep everything together. But here, in this moment, you don't have to hold anything up. Feel how the body settles when it finally believes it's allowed to rest. Another breath now slowly in and out, as if each exhale takes a little more of the day with it. Tonight's journey is about softening the mind, about letting the tangled thoughts loosen, like knots gently coming undone in warm water. The stories and teachings you'll hear later will move like a small river at dusk, steady, calm, flowing past stones and roots, with a sound that soothes the heart, without ever asking it to change too quickly. But right now, we're simply preparing the ground. Just as a gardener smooths the soil before planting anything at all, you are smoothing the inner space, where peace can take root. If you listen closely, you might sense that the night itself is already helping you. The quiet, the stillness, the soft rhythm of your breath, the feeling of safety that begins to spread like warm light in a dim room. Let your mind drift towards something gentle, a slow-moving river at the edge of a forest, or the sound of rain tapping lightly on a window, or the familiar comfort of a small town street after everyone has gone to sleep. These images aren't here to teach you anything directly. They're simply here to remind you that peace is never as far away as it seems. Often, it's waiting just beneath the surface, like a lake resting under winter ice, still and steady, even when the world above is cold and loud. And as you breathe, I hope you can feel that stillness rising inside you, soft, quiet, patient, almost like your mind is slowly turning toward a new direction, one where thoughts settle, emotions soften, and the heart begins to trust the night again. Before we continue, I want to share something gently with you. This space, this channel, is here to help you find moments like this, moments of calm, moments that feel like a warm hand on the shoulder, moments that help you breathe again when life feels a little too tight. If these gatherings bring you even a small sense of peace, I'd be grateful if you subscribed, not as a transaction, but as a way of building a quiet place we return to together. And if you feel comfortable, Leave a simple comment before you drift into sleep. Just a 1 if the opening helped you relax, or a 2 if it missed the mark. Your voice helps this space grow softer, clearer, more supportive for you and others. No pressure, just an invitation from a friend. Now, let your breath settle again. Feel the heaviness of your body sinking into the bed or couch. Feel the mind beginning to quiet, as if the thoughts themselves are curling up to rest for the night. We're moving now toward the deeper part of this journey, toward stories and teachings that will guide your mind into softer, calmer places. But there's no hurry, no rush. Just follow the slow rhythm. One breath, one moment, one quiet step at a time. You're exactly where you need to be. And together, we'll begin. Story 1. The Two Monks and the Young Woman. There is an old story often whispered in Zen circles, and maybe you've heard a version of it somewhere along the way. But tonight, let me tell it slowly, softly, as if we're sitting on a quiet porch at dusk, letting the last light settle behind the trees. Two monks, an elder and a younger one, were traveling along a country road after a long rain. The earth was soaked, mud gathered in thick patches, pulling at their sandals. The sky had that pale, faded color that arrives after a storm has spent all its strength. As they walked, they came upon a young woman, dressed in fine clothes, standing before a wide puddle where the road had flooded. She looked troubled, unsure how to cross without ruining her garments. The younger monk looked away, keeping his eyes on the ground, remembering their order's rule not to touch women. But the elder monk simply smiled, lifted the woman in his arms, and carried her gently across the water. He set her down lightly on the other side. She bowed with gratitude, and the monks continued walking. For hours, they walked in silence. The only sound was the squish of wet earth and the distant rush of wind through tall grass. But inside the young monk, something churned. His thoughts pushed and pulled like a restless tide. Finally, unable to contain himself, he spoke. "Master," he said, "how could you do that? We're not supposed to touch women. You violated the rule." The elder monk looked at him kindly, as though seeing the weight resting on his student's shoulders. With a calm breath, he said, "Brother, I set her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her? The night around you may feel a little like that muddy road. The day may have left traces, old worries, small frustrations, things you wish you had said differently, or not said at all. Perhaps something from earlier is still clinging to you, tugging at the edges of your mind, asking to be carried farther than it was ever meant to go. Consider this. Sometimes the heaviest burdens are the ones we lift only in our thoughts. You might notice, as you breathe softly here, that your mind holds on long after your body is ready to rest. Maybe there was a conversation, a responsibility, a moment of regret, a memory that keeps returning even though the day is already behind you. Take a slow breath in, easy and gentle. And as you exhale, imagine setting something down, not pushing it away, just placing it on the ground like a stone that doesn't belong in your pocket anymore. Let yourself soften as you hear this. The elder monk wasn't teaching with rules. He was teaching with freedom. Freedom from the invisible weight of thoughts that have already passed. Feel the body relaxing now, bit by bit, the way the earth cools after a storm. Feel the shoulders loosen. Feel the jaw soften. Feel the breath deepen, as if your whole being understands that it's safe to rest. And now, imagine walking down that same road, but lighter. Each step sinking softly into the moist earth, the sky clearing into a gentle twilight. Nothing heavy clinging to you, nothing following you home. Let your mind drift like that, slow, easy, untethered. As you breathe, picture yourself placing down whatever you've been carrying, a worry, a thought, a memory, a pressure. Let it rest by the roadside, and know that you don't have to pick it back up tonight. As sleep begins to gather around you like a warm blanket, allow your breath to find a slow rhythm, in and out, peacefully. effortlessly. You are already lighter. You are already drifting. Let the night hold you, the way the elder monk carried the young woman gently, kindly, and then let it set you down into rest. Story 2. The Overflowing Teacup. There was once a scholar, well-known, respected, certain of his knowledge, who traveled a long distance to meet a Zen master. The scholar hoped to learn the secrets of wisdom, hoping perhaps that enlightenment would come packaged neatly, like a lesson in a book. When he reached the master's small cottage, perched on a hill overlooking a quiet valley, the scholar began speaking before he even sat down. He spoke of texts he had read, lectures he had given, theories he had formed. His words rolled on like a river in flood, strong and unstoppable. The master listened quietly, nodding gently, the way wind moves through tall grasses. Finally, he gestured to a small table. "Tea?" he asked softly. The scholar agreed. The master poured tea into the scholar's cup, and poured, and poured. The tea rose to the brim, then spilled over the edges, sliding down the sides of the cup, pooling on the table. The scholar jumped back. "Stop! It's full. No more will fit." The master looked at him with soft eyes, a small smile touching his lips. "Yes," he said, "like this cup. You are full of your own opinions and ideas. How can I show you anything unless you first empty your cup? Consider this. The mind before sleep often behaves like that overflowing cup, too full, too busy, too crowded with the residue of the day. Thoughts overflow the edges. What you need to do tomorrow, what you forgot today, what you wish had gone differently. And sleep, gentle as it is, cannot pour itself into a mind already brimming. Perhaps you feel some of that fullness now. The mind, trying to solve one more problem, trying to rehearse one more conversation, trying to understand one more thing. But tonight, maybe you can simply let the cup empty. Take a slow breath in, and let the exhale be long, like a slow stream pouring out. As you listen, imagine the master pouring tea steady, calm, patient, and the overflowing liquid carrying away your tension, your clutter, your worries. Imagine the cup gradually freeing itself of what it held, becoming open, spacious, ready to receive the peace it has long been denied. You might picture a small porch in late evening, a warm mug between your hands, steam rising in soft curls. The world is quiet. The air cools your cheeks. Somewhere in the distance, a cricket chirps. And in this small moment, nothing needs to be figured out. Nothing needs to be solved. Let your breath deepen. Let your thoughts slow their pace. Let the mind loosen its grip. And as you breathe, imagine tipping your inner cup slightly, letting old worries trickle out, letting expectations soften, letting pressures dissolve like steam fading into night air. Your cup does not need to be empty forever, just empty enough for rest, empty enough for ease, empty enough for the gentle quiet that helps you drift towards sleep. Feel the soft weight of your body. Feel the warmth that gathers around your chest. Feel the slow rhythm of your breathing, steady as falling tea. Allow yourself to settle. Allow yourself to be held by this moment. Allow the mind to become spacious, open, ready for rest. Let sleep pour in, like warm tea filling an open cup slowly, naturally, tenderly. Story 3. The Farmer's Luck. There was once an old farmer who lived in a small valley with rolling hills and soft green fields. His neighbors often came to him for advice, not because he had great wealth, but because he carried a quiet wisdom that made people feel safe. One day, his only horse ran away. The neighbors rushed to his home, shaking their heads with sympathy. "Oh, what bad luck," they said. "How unfortunate." The farmer simply shrugged and said, "Maybe yes, maybe no." A few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses from the hills. The neighbors returned, surprised and delighted. "What wonderful luck," they said. The farmer smiled softly. "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next week, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses. The horse bucked him off, and the boy broke his leg. The neighbors came again, shaking their heads. "Oh, what terrible luck," they said. The farmer breathed gently. "Maybe yes, maybe no." Hours eyed. Not long after, soldiers came through the valley, conscripting every able-bodied young man for a distant war. The farmer's son, with his broken leg, was spared. The neighbors wept with relief. "What good luck." The farmer simply repeated, "Maybe yes, maybe no. Consider this." Life often moves like this story, unexpected turns, sudden changes, moments that seem good or bad at first glance, but reveal themselves differently with time. The mind, especially at night, tries to label everything. It wants to decide if what happened today was fortune or failure. It wants to predict tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. You might notice your own mind doing this judging, worrying, trying to shape the future by thinking harder and harder. Maybe something happened recently that feels uncertain, like loose earth beneath your feet. Maybe you're trying to decide if it's good or bad, blessing or burden. But tonight, you don't need answers. You don't need conclusions. You don't need the verdict of fortune or misfortune. You only need rest. Take a slow breath and let the body soften, the way the hills softened in evening light. Imagine the old farmer's home, a small cabin with warm lantern glow spilling through wooden slats. Imagine the quiet valley around him, fields settling into dusk, crickets beginning their nighttime song, a gentle breeze moving across the grass. Perhaps you can picture yourself standing beside the farmer, both of you watching the sky fade into a deep, peaceful blue. He says nothing, and yet his silence feels reassuring, as if reminding you that not everything needs to be solved tonight. Let the breath deepen, let the heart slow, let the mind loosen its hold on today and tomorrow. You might whisper softly to yourself, maybe yes, maybe no, as a way of letting go. The truth is, you don't know yet how things will turn out, and that's all right. Rest comes when we allow life to open on its own, like a flower blooming in its season, not when we try to pry it open. As you settle deeper into the bed or couch, imagine the valley growing quiet around you, the horses grazing softly, the lantern flickering in the farmer's home, the night air cool and kind. Let your thoughts drift like small leaves on a gentle breeze. Let your breath guide you towards stillness. Let the uncertainty fade into something softer, something peaceful. Tonight, you don't need certainty. You need rest. And rest is here, waiting, welcoming, holding you gently, like the valley holds the night. Story 4. The Buddha and the Angry Man. Long ago, the Buddha walked through villages, speaking with anyone who wished to learn. His presence was calm, steady, like a quiet lake, reflecting the sky. But one day, a man approached him bursting with anger, his face red, his voice sharp. He insulted the Buddha, shouted at him, called him foolish, tried to provoke him in every way. The Buddha stood there, unmoved, like a strong tree rooted deeply in the earth. When the man finally ran out of breath, the Buddha looked at him with gentle eyes and asked a simple question. If someone gives you a gift and you refuse it, who does the gift belong to? The man blinked, confused. Well, if I refuse it, it still belongs to the one who offered it. The Buddha nodded. Yes, and in the same way, I refuse your anger. I do not accept it. It remains with you. The man stood stunned. His anger had nowhere to land, nowhere to take hold. And in the quiet that followed, something inside him softened. Consider this. Sometimes the world hands you its anger, a sharp comment, a moment of disrespect, a misunderstanding, a harsh tone, a criticism that cuts a little deeper than you expected. And often, without thinking, you take it in. You let it settle in your chest. You carry it for hours, sometimes days. You replay it, rehearse it, question it, let it echo inside you. But what if, just for tonight. You didn't accept the gift. Take a gentle breath in and exhale slowly, letting the body ease into stillness. You might notice places where old anger or tension still sits, maybe in the shoulders, the jaw, the stomach. These places hold on to things long after the moment has passed. But with each breath, imagine loosening that grip. Imagine the Buddha standing under a Bodhi tree at dusk, the air warm and soft, twilight settling like a blanket over the world. You stand beside him. The angry man is gone, his noise fading into the distance, but the Buddha remains steady, centered, peaceful. Not everything handed to you, he says softly, must be carried. Let yourself breathe into that thought. Let it deepen inside you like a warm ember glowing in the dark. Maybe today someone handed you frustration, or pressure, or criticism, or their own worry disguised as advice. And maybe, without realizing it, you accepted it. But tonight, you can set it down. With each inhale, imagine gathering up that old tension. With each exhale, imagine letting it drift away like smoke, dissolving into night air. You don't need to push anything away. Just release what doesn't belong to you. Feel your body growing heavier, calmer, grounded, like the Buddha's presence under the tree. Feel the warmth around your heart deepening. Feel the quiet settling into your mind, soft as moonlight. Allow yourself to rest in this stillness. Allow the night to soothe you. Allow sleep to approach gently, like a friend walking toward you across a quiet field. You are safe. You are at ease. You are free to rest. Story 5. The Broken Cup Teaching. There is a story shared often in meditation halls, retold by teachers across America, about a Zen master and a simple drinking cup. The master kept a small, delicate cup on a shelf in his home. It was nothing fancy, but he treated it with care. One day, a student asked him, "Why do you cherish that old cup so much?" The master smiled. "Because," he said, "I consider it already broken." The student frowned, not understanding. The master continued, "When I know it is already broken, I can enjoy it fully now. I can drink my tea without fear. I can appreciate its beauty without clinging. And when it finally does break, I will not suffer, because I always understood its nature." Consider this. Everything in life is fragile in its own way. Moments, seasons, relationships, even the day you just lived fleeting, like the glow of sunset on a quiet street. Maybe today you tried to hold too tightly. Maybe you worried about things cracking or slipping through your fingers. Maybe you felt the tremble of uncertainty, the way one feels when carrying something precious and fearing it might break. But in this moment, you can loosen your hold. Take a soft breath. Let the chest rise gently, then fall. Imagine sitting with the old Zen master in a small room lit by candlelight. The cup sits beside you, simple and calm. He pours warm tea, steam rising into the dim evening air. You lift the cup in your imagination. It's warm in your hands, its surface smooth, its shape familiar, and you know, just as the master knows, that its beauty is found in its impermanence. This knowledge brings a strange comfort, a freedom, a softening. You might notice your own mind softening now, letting go of worries about what might break, what might change, what might end. Tonight, nothing is required of you. Nothing needs to be protected. Nothing needs to be held tightly. Let yourself breathe into this gentle acceptance. Let the body sink a little deeper. Let the muscles unwind, like old ropes finally untied. As you breathe, imagine something you've been worried about, something delicate, something uncertain. Hold it in your mind the way you hold the cup, gently, lovingly, without fear. And then, let it rest. Let it be as it is. Nothing to fix, nothing to defend, just something to appreciate in this moment. The master finishes his tea, sets the cup down lightly, and blows out the candle. Darkness fills the room, not frightening, but soft, warm, like a blanket enfolding everything. Let that darkness enfold you now. Let your breath guide you deeper into stillness. Let your thoughts settle like dust on a quiet shelf. Everything is temporary. But right now, you are here, safe, warm, held by the night. Allow sleep to gather around you, gentle as candle smoke, dissolving into air. Story 6. Letting go of the rope. A student once came to a Zen master, exhausted and overwhelmed. His mind felt like a rope pulled too tight, stretched past its limit. He confessed that his thoughts were tangled, his days stressful, his nights sleepless. The master listened with compassion. Then he walked the student to a nearby well. Beside the well hung a long rope tied to a bucket. The master handed the rope to the student and said, "Pull." The student pulled. The rope tightened. The bucket rose a little. "Pull harder," the master said. The student pulled harder, his hands strained, arms trembling, breath quickening. The master nodded and whispered gently, "Now, let go." The student released the rope. The bucket fell back with a soft splash. The rope loosened instantly, falling slack in his hands. The master looked at him. Peace does not come from pulling harder. It comes when you stop holding so tightly. Consider this. Your day may have felt like that rope stretched, strained, tugged in every direction. Work demands, family responsibilities, messages waiting, thoughts repeating. The endless sense that if you don't pull harder, everything might fall apart. But tonight, you can let go. Take a slow breath in and let the exhale loosen your grip, gentle as a rope falling slack. Imagine standing by that well, the cool evening breeze brushing your skin. The water below reflects the moonlight, soft and shimmering. The rope hangs quietly, no tension, no strain. You might notice parts of your own body that feel tight: shoulders, neck, stomach. These are the places where the rope is still pulled taut. As you breathe, imagine these places relaxing, the tension dissolving like ripples spreading across the water's surface. Perhaps you've been carrying expectations today, the kind that weigh heavily, even when you don't realize it. Perhaps you've been trying to keep everything under control, gripping life with both hands. But what if you let the rope soften? Just for now, just for tonight, just long enough to rest. Feel your breath slowing. Feel your mind loosening its knots. Feel the weight lifting, piece by piece. Imagine the master standing beside you, quiet and patient. His presence alone eases something inside you. He does not ask you to solve anything. He simply invites you to release what has already taken enough of your energy. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means resting. It means trusting that you do not need to hold everything every moment. It means allowing your heart to unclench. As the night deepens, imagine the well growing still, the bucket resting at the bottom, the rope hanging peacefully. No tension, no strain, just quiet. Allow yourself to settle into that same quiet. Allow your breath to guide you gently inward. Allow your mind to drift, slow and soft, towards sleep. Let the rope drop from your hands. Let the night hold you. Let rest take you in. Story 7. The Lute String Teaching. A monk once approached the Buddha, troubled because his meditation felt difficult and strained. He was trying so hard, too hard, and the harder he tried, the more restless he became. The Buddha asked him, "Before you became a monk, what did you do?" The man answered, "I was a musician. I played the lute." The Buddha nodded. "Tell me, what happens if the string is too tight?" "It breaks," the monk replied. "And what happens if it is too loose?" "It cannot play." The Buddha smiled softly. "The mind is the same, not too tight, not too loose. Consider this. We often hold our days like an over-tightened string, trying to be perfect, efficient, responsible, everything to everyone. And other times, when we are tired or discouraged, the string becomes too loose and motivation slips away. The balance is gentle, quiet, subtle. Tonight, you don't need to tighten anything. You don't need to perform. You don't need to push. All you need is softness. Take a slow breath. Let it open your chest gently. Let the exhale ease out like a soft note fading in the air. Imagine the lute resting in your lap. Imagine running your fingers lightly along the strings. They vibrate with a warm, mellow sound, smooth as candlelight. Each tone resonates through your body, calming the places that feel strained. Your mind may have been pulled tight today, rushing, planning, worrying. But now, with each breath, you loosen the strings a little, not too much, just enough. Perhaps you can picture yourself on a front porch at night, rocking slowly in a chair. A soft autumn breeze moves through the trees. The stars shimmer like tiny lanterns. You play a gentle tune, not for anyone else, not to impress, just for the simple comfort of sound. Let the breath be your music now. In, out, a quiet rhythm. As you breathe, imagine tuning your inner strings, the string of effort, the string of expectation, the string of doubt, the string of exhaustion. Adjust them gently, one by one. No harshness, no urgency, just soft, mindful attention. The Buddha's teaching drifts through your awareness like a warm wind, not too tight, not too loose. Let your whole body settle into this balance. Let the breath flow naturally. Let the mind release its grip. And as you sink deeper into rest, imagine the lute's song fading into the night, becoming softer and softer until it blends with silence. Let that silence take you in. Let it cradle you. Let it guide you into sleep. Story 8. The Horse Story. There is an old tale told often in mindfulness circles, a simple story, but one that speaks to the restless mind. A man once watched as his neighbor's horse galloped through the village at full speed, kicking up dust and startling everyone in its path. Another man yelled, "Where are you going?" "I don't know," the rider shouted back. "Ask the horse." The horse, wild and uncontrolled, carried him wherever it wished. Consider this. The mind can be like that horse running without direction, fueled by momentum, pushing you into thoughts you didn't choose, rushing from one worry to another. Maybe your mind has been galloping today, thoughts racing, scenarios repeating, worries pulling you this way and that. But tonight, you can step off the horse, take a soft, slow breath. Let the exhale stretch long and easy. Imagine the horse slowing down, its frantic hooves easing into a gentle trot, then into a slow walk, then finally coming to rest beside a quiet stream. You place a hand on its warm neck. Its breath settles. Yours settles too. In this moment, the horse no longer drags you. It stands with you. You might notice your own thoughts doing the same, slowing, softening, quieting as you breathe. Picture yourself sitting on a grassy riverbank. The water drifts by in silver ribbons under the moonlight. The horse grazes peacefully nearby. The world around you is calm, as if the night itself is breathing with you. Let your thoughts come and go like ripples on the water. No need to chase them. No need to stop them. Just watching, just resting. Let the mind settle the way the horse settles after a long ride. Not forced, not pushed, just naturally finding stillness. Feel the weight of your body sinking deeper. Feel your breath growing softer. Feel your thoughts drifting like leaves on the stream. The horse lowers its head, closing its eyes, ready for rest. And so are you. Let the night wrap around you. Let your breath lull you towards sleep. Let the wild mind finally rest beside the quiet water. Story 9. The Heavy Stone. A monk once walked with his teacher along a wooded path. The air smelled of pine and damp earth. Birds called softly from the treetops. As they walked, the teacher stopped beside a large stone resting near the path. He asked the monk, "Is this stone heavy?" The monk nodded. "Yes, master, very heavy." The teacher smiled gently. "Only if you pick it up. Consider this. How many heavy stones do we carry each day? Stones of responsibility, stones of worry, stones of regret. stones of expectation. Maybe today you picked up more than you needed to. Maybe you carried the weight of someone else's mood. Maybe you carried old fears. Maybe you carried pressure to do more, be more, achieve more. But here, in this quiet night, you can set the stone down. Take a breath in, let it fill your chest. Then exhale slowly, letting the weight ease off your shoulders. Imagine standing in that quiet forest with the teacher. The stone sits before you, solid, unmoving, ancient. You reach down and feel its weight, the strain in your arms, the tightness in your chest. Then the teacher places a gentle hand on your arm. "Leave it," he whispers. You let go. The stone lands softly on the earth. Your hands fall open. Your breath deepens. You realize the heaviness was never the stone. It was the effort of holding it. You might feel something similar happening inside you now. A loosening, a softening, a quiet release. Let yourself picture each worry you carried today as a stone by the path. You don't need to throw them away. You don't need to break them. You simply place them down, one, then another, and another. Feel your body growing lighter. Feel your mind opening like a clearing in the forest. Feel the quiet around you deepening, soothing, calming. The teacher begins to walk again. Slowly, peacefully, you follow beside him, unburdened. And with each step, you feel sleep approaching soft, warm, gentle as moss under your feet. Let the forest hold you. Let the weight fall away. Let the night guide you into rest. Story 10. The Buddha and the Rope Burn. There is a story told by many American Buddhist teachers about a man holding onto a rope with all his strength. One end of the rope was tied to a horse that had begun to run, pulling the man behind it. The more he held on, the more the rope burned into his skin. His fear told him, "Don't let go." But the pain grew sharper, the force greater. Then someone standing nearby shouted, "The only way to stop the pain is to release the rope." Doff, 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 doff. The man, trembling, exhausted, finally let go. He fell into the soft grass. The horse ran off, disappearing into the distance. And for the first time, the man could breathe. Consider this. How often do we hold tightly to things that hurt us? Old stories about ourselves, unrealistic expectations, arguments we replay, mistakes we can't forgive, the pressure to keep everything under control. Maybe your hands have been gripping a rope like that today. Maybe your mind has been pulled in too many directions. Maybe you've felt the burn of holding on. But tonight, you can let go. Take a slow breath in. Let the breath expand gently. Then exhale, long and soft. Imagine your hands slowly loosening around a rope. You don't drop it suddenly. You simply loosen your grip, finger by finger, allowing relief to wash through your body. Picture yourself lying back in soft grass under a nighttime sky. Stars shimmer overhead. The cool earth supports your tired body. Your breath becomes quiet and steady. The rope lies beside you, harmless now. You don't need to pull it. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to hold on. The grass cradles your weight. The air cools your skin. Your muscles begin to unwind, long and slow. Let your breath soothe the rope burns of the day, the emotional strain, the mental tension, the physical exhaustion. Each inhale brings comfort. Each exhale brings release. You might whisper to yourself, "I can let go. I can rest. I can soften." Feel your whole body melting deeper into stillness. Feel the night wrapping around you like a blanket. Feel sleep drifting closer, gentle as a tide rolling onto shore. The rope is gone. The struggle is gone. Only peace remains. And now, let the quiet take you in. Let go. Rest deeply. Sleep sweetly. Story 11. There's an old teaching, often retold by monks and quiet-hearted teachers, about a traveler who came upon a farmer digging a wide hole in the earth. The traveler asked what he was searching for, and the farmer said, in a tired voice, that he was digging for the perfect place to plant a tree. He had dug 12 holes already, each a little deeper, each a little wider, each a little more, almost right. But never right enough. The traveler watched him struggle, watched the sweat gather on his brow, watched the man look from the tree in his hands to the land around him, as if everything carried too much weight. Finally, the traveler knelt, scooped a little soil into his palm, let it fall back through his fingers like warm sand. Maybe, he said quietly, it's not the hole that must be perfect. Maybe it's your willingness to plant. And the farmer paused. The tree, a small sapling, no taller than the farmer's chest, sat there quietly as the wind moved its soft leaves. Sometimes the mind does the same thing, digging, adjusting, planning, worrying, rewriting, never planting, never simply beginning. Perhaps you've felt that, on long evenings after work, when the house is quiet and your thoughts wander down old paths, maybe you've turned something over again and again, relationships, choices, the future, the past, searching for the perfect angle before you allow yourself to rest. Let this story settle into you. You might notice your shoulders softening, the breath loosening a little in your chest, like the first sigh after a long day. Imagine yourself placing that tree into the earth. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, but gently. Soil falling around the roots, the ground holding it, just enough. As you breathe in, feel the grounding of the earth beneath you. As you breathe out, feel the release of unnecessary effort, the endless digging of the mind. Inhale, plant, exhale, soften, and let your body grow a little heavier, as though settling into a quiet patch of warm ground beneath a summer sky, preparing for rest. Story 12. There is a cherished tale of a monk who carried a small cup everywhere he went. It was plain, nothing special, just a cup of simple clay, smooth from years of touch. Whenever he drank water, he held it with both hands, and those who saw him noticed the gentleness in the way he lifted it, as though he were holding a tiny bird. One morning, the cup slipped from his hands and shattered on the stone floor. A young novice gasped and rushed forward, apologizing as if the break were his fault. But the monk simply looked at the pieces and nodded. "Ah," he said warmly, "it was already broken." The teaching has echoed through Zen halls for generations, not as a cold truth but as a soft reminder. Everything we love is already fragile. Everything we hold will one day change. When we understand this, we hold things more tenderly, our relationships, our moments, our evenings, even our worries. You might think of something in your own life that feels delicate right now. A connection, a responsibility, a hope for tomorrow. See if you can hold it the way the monk held his cup, not clinging, not pushing away, just present. Take a slow breath and let your chest soften. Let the exhale fall like broken pieces settling quietly to the ground. Nothing sharp, nothing dangerous, just settling. Feel your body growing heavier, quieter, like a room where the lights have dimmed and the day has gently stepped aside. Allow sleep to approach you the same way the monk approached his cup, with openness, without fear, knowing nothing needs to be grasped tightly. Let the mind rest, like pieces of clay returning to silence. Story 13. There's a well-known story of a horse, passed from neighbor to neighbor, told in small towns and Zen temples alike. A farmer owned a strong, beautiful horse, and one day it ran away. His neighbors said, "Such bad luck." The farmer shrugged. Maybe. A week later, the horse returned, bringing 2 wild horses with it. The neighbors cheered, calling it wonderful fortune. The farmer only said, "Maybe." Well, 50 ewes. Soon after, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses and fell, breaking his leg. Again the neighbors cried, "Such terrible luck." And again, the farmer replied, "Maybe." Life continued like this, events twisting and turning, good, bad, until the villagers came to understand that things unfold beyond simple labels. This story has drifted through American meditation circles for decades because it speaks to our everyday storms, the deadlines that unravel, the plans that shift, the unexpected turns that worry the mind late at night. Perhaps you have felt that today. Maybe something didn't go as expected. Maybe something surprised you. Maybe the mind keeps replaying a moment, trying to label it. Let this story loosen the tightness around your judgments. Take a slow inhale and an even slower exhale. Feel how each breath softens your need to decide what everything means. Let your body sink a little deeper into whatever holds you. Allow the word maybe to drift through your thoughts like a leaf floating downstream, unhurried, unforced, carried by something larger than itself. Let sleep come in its own time, like the shifting of seasons, neither good nor bad, simply natural. Story 14. It's said that the Buddha once met a man consumed by anger. The man shouted, cursed, waved his arms wildly. The Buddha simply listened. He did not correct him, nor did he turn away. When the man finally exhausted himself, trembling with the weight of his emotions, the Buddha said gently, "If someone delivers a gift to you and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man blinked, confused. "To the giver," he said. The Buddha nodded. "Then I do not accept your anger." Meaning faces. This story is old, familiar, and deeply comforting. We all encounter anger, our own, other people's, the kind that lingers from long days, crowded commutes, stressful conversations, or quiet disappointments. Sometimes anger visits at night, tightening the chest, replaying arguments, keeping the mind awake. But imagine that you, too, can choose which gifts to accept. Consider the possibility that you don't have to hold everything handed to you today. Some things can simply remain with the giver. Take a breath in and let your exhale feel like setting something down. Feel how the body softens when you stop carrying what never belonged to you. The breath grows slow, the mind grows quiet, and sleep begins to whisper at the edges, like the soft glow of a porch light in the distance, warm, steady, waiting for you to come home. Let yourself drift toward that quiet light, with ease. Story 15. There is a story known as the lute string, retold often in American meditation halls. A monk complained that his practice was too hard, too full of effort. Another said his practice was too easy, too relaxed. The Buddha reminded them of a musician tuning a lute. If the string is too tight, the sound is harsh. If the string is too loose, there is no sound at all. The right tone comes from balance, neither pushing nor collapsing. You may feel this truth in your own daily life. The long hours, the striving, the pressure to keep everything together, work, family, bills, expectations. Sometimes the string is pulled too tight. Other times it goes slack and energy fades, leaving only exhaustion. But here, in this quiet moment, you can feel for the middle tone, not too hard, not too soft, just enough. Take a slow breath, the way a musician might pluck a single note to check its warmth. Let your exhale be gentle, smooth, soft enough to loosen the tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. Imagine yourself walking through a quiet room, lit only by a single lamp, everything calm, everything at rest. Feel the body settling into its natural rhythm, not forced, not lazy, just right for sleep. Let yourself drift on that balanced note, steady, quiet, easing you toward rest. Story 16. There's a story teachers often tell about two monks traveling together. They came to a river where a young woman stood unable to cross. The older monk lifted her gently into his arms, carried her across, and set her down safely. Hours later, the younger monk said, "You shouldn't have carried her. It breaks the rules." The older monk smiled softly. "I put her down at the river. Why are you still carrying her?" This story touches something tender in all of us. How often do we carry things long after they've passed? A conversation from earlier today, a mistake from years ago, a worry about tomorrow. These thoughts linger like heavy bags slung over the shoulder, carried mile after mile, even when the moment is long gone. You might notice your own mind doing that sometimes, replaying, holding, gripping. Let this story help you loosen your hold. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine placing something down, something you've carried too far. It doesn't have to disappear. It just doesn't need to weigh you down tonight. Feel your body soften, as though setting down a pack after a long walk through the woods. The night air cool, the path quiet, the stars just beginning to appear. Let the quiet of the evening gather around you. Let the weight fall away. Let sleep carry you the rest of the way home. Story 17. Many Zen teachers tell the story of a man clinging desperately to a rope hanging over a cliff. He had slipped, caught the rope, and now dangled above sheer emptiness. The more he clung, the tighter his grip became. His arms shook, his breath turned shallow. At last, exhausted, he loosened his hands just a little and realized his feet were touching the ground. The story makes people smile because it reflects so many moments in life when we cling to something as if everything depended on it. Stress, plans, control, perfection, old habits, old fears. Sometimes the mind tightens around these things late at night, when the world is quiet and the thoughts grow loud. But just beneath the fear, beneath the clinging, there is often solid ground. Take a slow inhale, not forced, not tight, and exhale, letting the fingers of the mind loosen just a bit. Feel the steadiness beneath you, your bed, your breath, your body held gently by the night. Let yourself trust that small sensation of grounding. Let the muscles soften, the breath deepen, the mind float like clouds drifting slow across a wide, dark sky. You can allow yourself to rest now. The ground is here. Story 18. There's a familiar tale of a student who came to a master asking for wisdom. The master offered him tea, pouring slowly, steadily, until the cup was full. But he kept pouring. Tea spilled across the table, onto the floor, running in warm streams. The student shouted, "Stop! The cup is full." The master nodded. So is your mind. In fives. This story echoes gently through American Buddhism because it speaks to the cluttered mind. We all know the lists, the plans, the regrets, the scrolling thoughts that keep us awake at night. You might feel that tonight, your mind filling and filling, refusing to settle. But just noticing that fullness allows a little space to open. Take a breath in and let the exhale feel like a cup emptying slowly, quietly. You might imagine sitting at a wooden table near a window, soft lamplight touching your hands, everything quiet around you. With each breath out, imagine pouring out a little more, not losing anything important, just releasing the overflow. Feel how the breath creates space, room for calm, room for rest. Let the mind empty enough for sleep to settle in, like warm tea cooling in a quiet room. Story 19. Teachers often retell the story of a man walking along a dusty road carrying a heavy stone. He didn't know why he carried it. Someone long ago had handed it to him, and he never questioned it. As he walked, his back ached, his arms trembled, and he grew weary. Finally, another traveler asked, "Why not put it down?" The man blinked, surprised. "I didn't know I could." So many burdens work like that. Old expectations, old fears, old stories about who we should be. We carry them out of habit, not choice. And at night, when the world finally grows quiet, those old stones make themselves known, heavy in the mind. You might sense your own stone tonight, not with judgment, just noticing. Perhaps your chest tightens a bit. Perhaps the breath feels shallow. Take a slow inhale, and as you exhale, imagine placing that stone on the ground beside the road. Feel the sudden lightness in your shoulders, the surprising ease. Let the body settle into that feeling, growing heavier in the most comforting way, like sinking into a soft bed after a long journey. Let the heaviness guide you toward rest. Let the night hold you. Story 20. There's an old parable about a man who kept searching for the moon's reflection in the water. Every night, he looked into lakes, ponds, puddles, anywhere the moonlight might shimmer. But whenever the wind stirred, the reflection broke, rippled, vanished. He grew frustrated, chasing from one pool to another, never realizing that the moon itself had never moved. It was always overhead, steady and bright. This story has a way of settling gently in the heart. We chase peace the same way, sometimes through accomplishments, possessions, perfect days, flawless conversations, but peace is more like the moon, quiet, constant, already present. We just lose sight of it in the ripples. Take a long, slow breath and let the exhale smooth the surface of your thoughts. Imagine lying on a porch at night, wrapped in a blanket, looking up at a calm, glowing moon. Nothing to chase, nothing to fix, nothing to perfect. Just light, just breath, just rest. Let that feeling wash over you, soft as moonlight on your skin. Let it guide you into sleep, steady and gentle, like the night sky, holding everything in quiet embrace. Story 21. There is a well-loved Zen tale about a traveler who stopped at a small hermitage high in the mountains. The hermit inside lived simply just a bed, a kettle, a candle, and a single wooden bowl. The traveler looked around, puzzled. "Where are your things?" he asked. The hermit smiled, brushing dust from the rim of his bowl. "Where are yours?" The traveler laughed. "I'm only passing through." The hermit's eyes softened. "So am I." Its brand signed of the parent is. This story has soothed countless hearts because it reminds us of something we feel late at night when the house is quiet and the mind begins to wander across everything we try to hold, keep, fix, and gather. Life is a long journey of temporary moments, some precious, some heavy, all fleeting, and sometimes, in the soft hours before sleep, that truth feels both tender and freeing. Take a slow breath in and let a gentle breath out. Imagine yourself in that simple mountain room, candlelight flickering, the wooden walls warm with age, everything uncluttered, everything enough. Let your thoughts settle like dust in a sunbeam. Let your belongings, your worries, your tasks loosen their grip on you. For this moment, you are only passing through toward rest, toward stillness, toward sleep. Let the softness of that truth ease you into quiet. Story 22. A well-known Jataka tale speaks of a thirsty crow wandering across a dry landscape. The heat was heavy, the ground cracked, and the crow's wings ached. He found a small pitcher with a bit of water at the bottom too deep for his beak to reach. Others would have given up, but the crow, patient and clever, dropped small pebbles into the pitcher one by one until the water rose high enough for him to drink. Many people remember this story because it reflects the long days we live through, days of effort, small steps, incremental progress no one else sees. Maybe your day felt like that. A pebble here, a pebble there, family responsibilities, work deadlines, unexpected tasks, emotional strain. The water rises slowly. Take a gentle breath. Let your exhale fall like a pebble into still water, soft, steady, creating ripples that fade into calm. Imagine the pitcher filling, not rushed, not forced, just rising with each soft breath. Let the feeling of slow progress soothe you. Let the body grow heavy, wings folded, resting after a long flight. Let the night offer you the cool drink you've needed. Story 23. There's a Zen story of a student who told his master, "My mind is like a flag in the wind, always restless, always shaking." The master said nothing. He watched the student's breath, the tension in his shoulders, the way his foot tapped against the wooden floor. Finally he said, "The flag is not moving. The wind is not moving. Only your mind is moving." This tale gently touches something familiar in modern life. Sometimes it feels like everything around us is in motion. Emails, bills, conversations, responsibilities, and yet the real storm is inside the mind. Late at night, that inner wind can grow louder, turning small worries into fierce gusts. You might notice that inside yourself tonight. Take a slow breath in, and with your exhale, imagine the wind calming, the flag settling, the noise inside beginning to quiet. Let your breath become the weight that steadies the pole, grounding you, anchoring you. Feel your body relax as the wind fades. Let sleep come like a calm night sky after a long storm. Story 24. The tale of the empty boat is told in Zen dojos and American retreats alike. A man was rowing his small boat across a quiet lake when another boat drifted into him, bumping his side. He shouted angrily, preparing to scold the other person. But the boat was empty. There was no one to blame. His anger dissolved into the vast, quiet lake around him. This parable lives on because so much of our anger comes from stories we tell ourselves. Someone meant to hurt us. Someone tried to offend us. Someone must be responsible. But sometimes the boat was just drifting. Sometimes life simply bumps into us. You might feel a soft recognition of this tonight, moments from your day, your week, your past. Take a long breath in and let the exhale drift across the lake like a warm breeze. Imagine your own little boat floating on still water beneath a rising moon. No one to fight. No need to brace yourself. Just the sound of water lapping softly against the hull. Let the lake cradle you. Let sleep ripple toward you, gentle and quiet. Story 25. There's a simple, beloved teaching about a man sweeping the courtyard of an old monastery. A young monk asked him, "Why do you sweep every morning? The wind always blows leaves back in." The older man smiled, brushing a leaf aside. "Yes, and still, I sweep." The story carries a soft wisdom about the daily tasks. We repeat the dishes, the bills, the errands, the endless cycles of life. And sometimes, those cycles keep our minds restless at night, replaying what we didn't finish, what still needs attention tomorrow. Consider the man sweeping calm, steady, unbothered by the wind. Take a slow breath. Let the exhale sweep gently through your body, clearing tension the way a broom clears a walkway. Feel your chest relax. Feel your thoughts fall like loose leaves, settling on the ground. Let yourself be like the courtyard at dawn, clean enough, peaceful enough, ready for rest. You've done enough for today. Sleep can take it from here. Story 26. A well-known Zen anecdote tells of a master who held a single candle in a dark room. A student entered and said, "Master, I fear the darkness." The master blew out the candle. In the warm blackness, he said, "Now you will see there is nothing to fear." This story has been shared for generations, especially among those who struggle with uncertainty, the kind that often rises just as the lights go out. Darkness is not always danger. Sometimes it is simply the absence of noise, of distraction, of constant demands. Maybe tonight the darkness feels heavy, or maybe it feels like relief. Let yourself feel it fully. Take a slow breath in. Let the exhale soften the edges of the room. Imagine the darkness not as emptiness, but as a blanket wrapping you gently, like the night sky holding every star. Let this darkness comfort you, quiet you, lull you towards sleep. There is nothing here to fear, only rest. Story 27. There is a famous koan about a monk who asked his master, "What is the path?" The master replied, "Walk." "But where does it lead?" the monk asked. The master smiled. Home. This story resonates deeply because so much of adult life feels like walking, commuting, striving, planning, adjusting, always moving, rarely arriving. But the truth whispered through this koan is gentle. Every breath is a step toward yourself. Every moment, a return to your own quiet center. Take a soft breath and let the exhale feel like stepping through your own front door after a long day. Shoes off, lights low, warmth, waiting. Feel the path beneath you grow soft and familiar. Let your breath guide you home back to your body, back to your calm, back to sleep. Every step tonight leads inward, into rest. Story 28. There is a story told in meditation circles about a young monk who tried to catch the reflection of clouds in a bowl of still water. He knelt by the riverbank, holding the water carefully, trying to keep the bowl perfectly steady. But every tiny movement distorted the reflection. The more he tried to hold it still, the more the clouds danced away from him. The master found him frustrated and tired. He smiled and pointed to the sky. "Why chase the reflection," he said, "when the real thing is right above you?" This story speaks softly to the way we chase approval, perfection, certainty late into the night, long after our bodies crave rest. Perhaps your mind has been trying to hold something still today. Take a gentle breath and let the exhale ripple softly through you. Imagine releasing the bowl of water, letting the river carry it downstream. Then lift your gaze to the open sky, vast, quiet, peaceful. Let that spaciousness open inside you. Let sleep drift in like soft clouds overhead. Story 29. There's an ancient tale of a monk who tended a lantern at the temple gates. Every night, he cleaned the glass, trimmed the wick, and lit the flame. One evening, a traveler asked him why he bothered. Why not let darkness fill the entrance? The monk simply answered, "Someone will pass through tonight who needs the light." This story lingers in the heart because each of us is a lantern for someone. Family, friends, co-workers, children. We carry so much responsibility, often quietly, without praise. And some nights, it is that sense of duty that keeps us awake. Take a long breath in and let the exhale feel like lowering the lantern gently to the ground. The flame still burns, but you do not have to hold it right now. Tonight, let the world take care of itself. Let someone else hold the light. Let darkness arrive softly, wrapping around you like a warm quilt. Let sleep lift the weight from your hands. Story 30. The tale of the broken gong is old and beloved. A monk struck a great temple gong each evening to signal the end of the day. One night, the gong cracked, leaving only a soft, hollow tone. The monk bowed to it and said, "Even broken things know how to sing." This story comforts because we all feel a little cracked, sometimes tired, worn, stretched thin by life's demands. And yet, here you are, making it through days that ask so much of you, showing up even when you're not perfect, even when you're weary. Take a slow breath. Let the exhale flow through you like that soft, hollow tone, gentle, resonant, calming. Imagine the sound echoing through a quiet evening temple, fading into stillness. Let your body melt into that quiet. Let your breath become the softest note in the room. Let the cracks in your day open just enough to release all the tension you've carried. And drift, slowly, into sleep. Story 31. The Buddha and the Blind Turtle. Once, the Buddha spoke of a great ocean stretching farther than any eye could see. Calm in some places and stormy in others, much like the seasons of our own lives. In that vast ocean lived a blind turtle who surfaced only once every 100 years. Drifting on the waves was a wooden yoke with a single hole carved in its center. The Buddha said that the chances of that turtle rising exactly beneath that hole of slipping its neck through it were almost impossible. And yet, he explained, even rarer was the chance of being born and having the conditions to hear a path of peace. As I share this with you tonight, imagine that ocean stretching quietly in the moonlight. Feel the slow roll of gentle waves, steady as your breath. Think of how uncertain life can feel, work deadlines that come without warning, family responsibilities that stretch you thin, moments where you wonder if things will ever calm down. And yet, here you are, floating in this moment of rare stillness, a small miracle of your own. Consider how many storms you've crossed, how many times you've resurfaced when you weren't sure you could. Like the turtle, rising from darkness toward the open sky, you've found your way back again and again. even when the odds felt impossibly large. And tonight, you're rising once more right into a moment of rest that life has quietly prepared for you. Let yourself soften as you breathe. The past doesn't need to be solved tonight. The future doesn't need controlling. For now, there is only this slow drift, this quiet sea, this feeling of being held by something bigger than your worries. If your mind wanders, picture the turtle again moving through darkness with patience, grace, and trust. He doesn't rush. He doesn't chase the yoke. He simply rises when it is time. You too can rise gently into sleep without effort. Take a long, slow breath. Let your shoulders loosen. Feel your body grow heavy, like a shell settling on soft sand beneath warm water. Nothing to fix, nothing to figure out, just drifting, slowly, into rest. And as the waves inside you quiet, let yourself slip into that opening waiting for you, an entrance to deep peace, deep sleep, and quiet dreams unfolding like calm tides beneath a star-filled sky. Story 32: The Hidden Lamp. Long ago, a wandering monk visited a village where a woman lived alone in a small wooden house. Every night, she would light a single lamp in her window, so travelers walking the dusty road could find their way. She asked nothing in return. She simply kept the flame burning. One evening, the monk approached her home as a storm rolled in. Rain tapped the wooden steps, and the wind whispered between the old boards. When the woman welcomed him inside, the monk noticed something surprising. Though travelers praised her for her generosity, she herself lived with very little simple clothes, a cracked bowl, and an old, thin blanket folded neatly in the corner. "Why do you light the lamp each night?" he asked gently. She smiled. "Because the world is dark enough without me adding to it." Imagine her small lamp glowing in the storm, soft yellow light warming the dark around her, a reminder that even one gentle act can touch someone miles away. As you settle in your body tonight, perhaps you feel the weight of the day on your shoulders. Maybe you've carried small burdens or large ones without showing them to anyone. Maybe you've been a quiet lamp yourself, offering kindness in ways few ever see. Most adults rarely acknowledge just how much light they carry, even when they feel tired, stretched thin, or unnoticed. Take a moment to breathe. Feel the gentle warmth of that lamp on your heart. Consider that your efforts, steady, imperfect, human, matter far more than you realize. You've kept going through storms of your own. You've shown up for others, even when your own flame felt small. Tonight, you don't need to shine for anyone. Let your lamp rest. Let the light dim softly. The world can wait while you refuel, while your inner flame grows warm again. Breathe slowly, as if you're sitting beside that small wooden house, the storm outside softening into a calm drizzle. Feel the glow inside you, steady and warm. Let the last tension in your body melt, drop by drop. Your breath is the lamp, now soft, steady, and guiding you inward. With each slow inhale, picture the warm yellow glow spreading through your chest. With each slow exhale, imagine the storm drifting farther away. Settle deeper, release more. Let the night wrap around you like a soft blanket, comforting, sheltering, reminding you that rest is also an act of light. Story 33: The Empty Boat. A Zen master once told a simple story. A man was rowing his boat across a foggy lake when another boat drifted toward him. He shouted warnings, growing frustrated when the other boat didn't change course. The boats collided. The man stood up, ready to scold the stranger, only to find the boat empty. Suddenly, all his anger dissolved. There was no one to blame. Tonight, imagine that lake still, silent, covered in early morning mist. Feel the cool air on your skin and the quiet of water beneath your fingertips. Let that calm spread through you. Think of how often in life we bump into empty boats, moments where frustration rises from misunderstandings, accidents, or someone else's hurried day. A curt email, a rushed comment, a driver who cuts too close on the highway. So often, the person we think we're angry at isn't truly there. They're caught in their own fog, battling their own storms. As you breathe slowly, soften any tightness you may still carry from your own collisions today. Let your chest loosen. Let your jaw unclench. Let the lake inside you become still again. You might notice a growing gentleness, a sense that many things that troubled you today can drift farther away, like mist thinning in morning light. Take another slow breath. Picture your small boat gliding in calm water, carried by a kindness deeper than thought. Nothing to push, nothing to force, just drifting toward rest, toward peace. Ease into the quiet now. The night holds you. You can let go. Story 34. The moon cannot be stolen. A monk once lived in a small mountain hut. One night, a thief slipped inside, searching for anything valuable. But the monk owned nothing, only a robe, a wooden bowl, and a straw mat. Seeing the thief's disappointment, the monk said gently, "I wish I could give you something." He stepped outside and looked up at the clear night sky. "But I hope you can at least enjoy the moon." "Way." The thief fled in confusion, but something in the monk's kindness stayed with him. Imagine that monk standing beneath a soft silver moon. The cool night air quiet around him. Feel the stillness, the simplicity, the peace that comes when you stop measuring your life against what others have or expect. Perhaps today you felt stretched by responsibilities or compared yourself to others without even meaning to. Maybe you wished your life were different in some small way. We all do, at times. But right here, right now, you can rest in what you already carry, enoughness, the kind that doesn't depend on possessions or accomplishments. Let your breath slow. Imagine moonlight brushing across your shoulders, cool and soothing, like a gentle hand saying, "Rest now. You don't have to earn this moment." Let your body sink into comfort. Release the day. Let the moon inside you shine softly, quietly. Nothing is missing. Nothing needs fixing. Breathe and drift into a night wide and peaceful as the sky itself. Story 35. The Two Travelers and the Bridge. Two travelers walked a long road toward a wooden bridge stretched over a slow-moving river. One worried constantly about money, about family, about things far beyond the horizon. The other walked quietly, noticing the wind in the trees and the way sunlight sparkled on the water. As they crossed the bridge, the anxious traveler asked, "How do you stay so calm? Don't you worry about tomorrow?" The quiet traveler smiled. "I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Tonight, imagine that wooden bridge beneath your feet, smooth, worn, familiar. Feel the gentle creak of old boards, the soft murmur of water below. Let the river carry away every thought that tries to run ahead of you. Perhaps today your mind rushed toward things not yet here, future tasks, future problems, future conversations. That rushing can feel like standing on 100 bridges all at once. But right now, there is only one. This moment, this breath. Take a slow inhale. Feel the gentle sway of the bridge, safe beneath you. Exhale, letting every future worry drift downriver like fallen leaves. Consider that you don't have to cross any bridge except the one beneath your feet. Not tonight. Tonight is for rest, for quiet, for releasing the mind's constant planning. Feel your breath deepening. Feel the boards warm beneath you. Let the river's gentle sound soften your chest. And when you're ready, walk off the bridge and into sleep, step by slow step, until your whole body settles into deep, peaceful stillness. Story 36. The Lute String. A monk once asked his teacher why meditation felt so difficult, why his mind was restless, tight, or tired. The teacher picked up a lute and plucked the strings. When he tightened them too much, the sound was sharp and harsh. When he loosened them too far, the sound was dull and lifeless. But when he adjusted them to the middle, the music was clear and warm. That, the teacher said, is how your mind must be. It's reverbid. Imagine the sound of a single lute string, humming gently in a quiet room. Feel its vibration resonate in your chest, like your own breath rising and falling. Your days may feel stretched too tight from expectations, too loose from exhaustion. Tonight, you can find that middle place, the place where everything settles just enough. Let your shoulders fall. Let your breath slow. If your thoughts wander, picture the teacher tuning the strings, gentle, patient, unhurried, adjusting each note until harmony returns. You too can tune your body toward rest. Inhale softly, exhale slowly. Feel the music inside you quiet into a peaceful hum. Nothing forced, nothing held too tightly, nothing left too loose. Just the gentle balance of being human and being ready for sleep. Story 37. The Broken Cup. A Zen master often told his students that his favorite teacup was already broken. Though the cup sat intact beside him, he treated it gently, appreciating it fully, knowing that one day it would fall, or crack, or simply fade. This understanding didn't make him sad, it made him grateful. Tonight, picture that simple teacup, smooth, warm, filled with calming tea. See the way candlelight plays across its surface. Feel the gentle gratitude in the master's hands, treating something ordinary as precious simply because it exists in this moment. Perhaps today you felt rushed or took something or someone for granted without meaning to. We all do. Life moves fast. But here, in the quiet of night, you can return to appreciation, not as a lesson, just as a softening. Consider your own cup, your body, your time, your relationships. Imperfect, temporary, beautiful. Let that awareness soften your breath. Loosen the last tension in your belly, your neck, your jaw. Take a long, gentle inhale and release slowly. Let gratitude settle like warm tea spreading through your chest, calm and comforting. Feel yourself growing heavier, softer, ready to drift. Nothing lasts forever, which makes this moment of rest a small treasure. Hold it gently as you slide into sleep. Story 38. The Stick in the Stream. A monk once placed a small stick in a flowing stream. When a student asked why, the monk said, "This is the mind." The stick bumped into rocks, spun in circles, got stuck on fallen leaves, then drifted free again. And this, he added, is life. Imagine that quiet stream now clear, cool water moving over smooth stones, shimmering in the fading light. Feel the gentle flow inside you, as if your breath were the water itself. Your day may have had its bumps, moments where you felt caught, stuck, or overwhelmed. But just like the stick, you didn't stay there. You kept moving. You reached this quiet moment where nothing pushes you anymore. Take a slow breath. Imagine your thoughts floating downstream, not forced, not controlled, just carried by the natural current of letting go. Let the water soothe you. Let it wash the tightness from your chest. Let it carry every lingering worry far enough downstream that it can't reach you tonight. You are drifting now, gently, toward rest. Story 39. The Old Man and the Horse. In a quiet village, an old man owned a single horse. When the horse ran away, the neighbors said, "How unfortunate." The old man simply replied, "Maybe." Days later, the horse returned with several wild horses. The neighbors said, "How fortunate." Again, he said, "Maybe." When his son fell while taming one of the horses, breaking his leg, the neighbors cried, "How unfortunate." "Maybe," the old man said once more. Life kept shifting, and his calm remained. Tonight, picture that old man standing outside his small home, watching the sky change colors at dusk. Feel his quiet acceptance, his steady breath, his trust in the unfolding of things. Perhaps today you judged an event, quickly calling it good, bad, lucky, unlucky. That's the way the mind works. But tonight, you don't need to sort anything. You can let things be unresolved, unfinished, undefined. Take a slow inhale, and let a long exhale loosen the weight of final judgments. Feel yourself settle into the soft maybe that allows life to be exactly as it is, without pushing. Let the old man's calm settle into you. Let the night hold all your uncertainties for now. Rest inside the gentle spaciousness of maybe, and drift easily towards sleep. Story 40. The Sound of the Bell. A young student once asked his teacher how to quiet a restless mind. The teacher invited him to listen to a bell. When the bell rang, the teacher said, "Don't listen for the sound, listen to the fading." The student closed his eyes and followed the disappearing tone until it dissolved into silence. And in that silence, his mind grew still. Tonight, imagine that bell round, bronze, warm in the teacher's hand. Feel the soft vibration after it rings. Notice how the tone stretches gently, then thins, then fades like mist in the morning sun. Your thoughts may still be buzzing from the day tasks unfinished, words replaying, plans forming on their own, but you don't have to stop them. Just listen for the fading. As each thought rises, let it drift into quiet. The way the bell's sound softens naturally, without force. Breathe in slowly, breathe out gently, and let the last sound inside you dissolve into warm silence. Feel your body sinking into calm, your breath settling into rhythm, your mind easing into quiet. The bell has faded, and you are ready for sleep. Take a slow breath, and let this final part of the journey wrap around you like a soft blanket. You've traveled far tonight, farther than you may realize. Through quiet teachings, gentle stories, the hush of rivers, and the glow of moonlight. You've walked step by step toward a deeper peace, not by effort, not by force, just by allowing yourself to be here, in this moment, exactly as you are. So now, let everything slow down, even your thoughts, even your breath, even the little places inside you that still try to hold the weight of the day. You can set it all down now. Feel your body settling into stillness, like a stone resting at the bottom of a clear stream. Notice the way the quiet deepens around you, how the room grows softer, how your breath becomes the only gentle rhythm left. You have walked through stories tonight that have lived for centuries, passed from one heart to another, carried across oceans and mountains and time itself. Stories that whisper what the river knows, what the moon knows, what the morning wind knows. That peace is not something to chase. It's something already inside you, like a lamp behind a thin curtain, like a sky waiting behind the clouds. And now, as you drift into the final stretch of this night, you might feel something opening, loosening, softening, a quiet inside you that feels familiar, as if you've been here before, maybe in childhood, drifting off on a warm summer night. Maybe on a porch listening to crickets sing, maybe driving home after a long day, when the world grew calm and the road stretched empty ahead. That feeling, that hush, that gentle return, it's here with you again. Let yourself breathe into it. A slow inhale, smooth and easy, and a long, slow exhale, like letting go of a weight you were never meant to carry. Imagine a river flowing somewhere in the distance. Not fast, not loud, just steady, patient, moving the world with quiet confidence. You are that river now. Each breath, a soft ripple, each thought a leaf drifting on the surface. No need to grab them, no need to chase them. They can float, all on their own. And above that river, there is a sky, wide, open, stretching far beyond anything you can see. A sky that holds everything without strain. Clouds come, clouds go. Stars appear, fade, return again. Nothing is forced. Nothing is hurried. Let your mind become that sky. Open, spacious, effortless. If a thought rises, let it drift. If a memory appears, let it soften. If an emotion stirs, let it rest in the quiet. You don't need to solve anything now. Not tonight. Not here. Your breath is the only thing you follow, and even that, barely. Feel your body growing heavier, as if the earth itself is holding you gently from beneath. Your hands loosening, your shoulders sinking, your jaw softening, your belly easing into a slow, natural rhythm. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to fix, nothing left to become. You have arrived, and perhaps now, in this soft in-between place, you can sense the thread that runs through every story you've heard tonight. Not a lesson, not an instruction, just a simple remembering that peace is possible, that rest is allowed, that you are part of something vast and gentle and timeless, like moonlight on still water, like a candle flickering in a quiet room, like the ocean breathing with the tide. You are held, you are safe, you are enough. Let the last bit of tension melt from behind your eyes. Let your breath slow until it feels like a whisper. Let your mind sink deeper into the soft dark, like a feather drifting to the forest floor. If sleep hasn't already taken you, you're standing right at its doorway now. There is no need to step through. Just lean, just soften, just let yourself fall into the quiet that's been waiting for you all along. Feel your heartbeat settling, steady and slow, like distant waves touching the shore. Feel the warmth gathering around you, like someone placing a comforting hand on your shoulder, telling you without words, it's okay to rest now. It's okay to let go. It's okay to sleep. You've walked a long path today, and you've walked an even gentler one tonight. Now there is only this moment, this breath, this softness. Let the world take care of itself for a while. Let the moon keep watch. Let the river keep flowing. Let the stories cradle you as you drift, drift, drift into deep peace, deep rest, deep, healing sleep. Good night, and may your dreams be quiet as a still lake under starlight.